Hi everybody, Sully Myrie here. Welcome to another episode of Sulz Says. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and feel free to lend your voice to the conversation with a comment or an emoji. It all helps to support the show, and it's free and virtually powerful, physically very little effort. So if you would, I appreciate you. Thank you. I was on these internet streets and I saw an article regarding what are the rules when it comes to going braless. Let me see if I can pull it up. It was in the New York Times, the style section, of course. And they show this image of actress Florence Pugh wearing a lilac sheer dress. And there were all kind of wonderful commentaries related to this article. A lot of people saying there are no rules. Some saying, oh, well, men have been going shirtless all this time and we need to desexualize the boob. And others thinking that there's a difference between braless, where you're wearing an opaque shirt, but without the support and the coverage of a bra. There's a difference between going braless and going topless, or virtually topless, like wearing a see-through dress. But there were a lot of strong feminist voices calling for desexualizing the boob. And how they're ready to show them titties. What's my opinion? Well, it depends. I'm trying to figure out which angle should I attack this thing here. First and foremost, there's a time and there's a place for everything. And there's also, what are your boobs giving? Do you have very large boobs? Do you have very pronounced nipples? Do your breasts hang low?
Titties! Show me them titties!
It all depends. And then it depends on what outfit you're wearing and where you're going and who's your audience. You all want to follow these celebrities that are going to high-end events with a lot of security around them so they can pull stunts off like this. They're not just walking down the street. There's a buffer between the women who are wearing these see-through tops and these sheer dresses, like Florence Pugh, like Rihanna, like Lizzo, like who else naked out there? I saw Sierra out there wearing a sheer outfit, and you're practically naked. It's like we can see all the things. It's not like, there's an illusion fabric layer underneath where there's the appearance of nudity, but you're not really nude. You're wearing something flesh colored over a sheer fabric. Now, we could sit here and be like, men should learn how to control themselves, and we need to desexualize the boob. And yes, men should be able to control themselves. Men should be able to see a woman walking with her titties out and not feel compelled to touch her or make any lewd comments. Yes, in the perfect feminist world, that would be the case. A lot of you women that say that men should behave themselves, a lot of men have been behaving themselves. A lot of men have not been approaching women based on what women have been saying. They're discouraging men from catcalling, which the catcalling can be disrespectful. You're treating men like creeps when they're trying to shoot their shot. But men, a lot of you are creeps. You can say logically, you can say morally, men should be able to control themselves. We should raise men in society so that men respect women, allow women to have autonomy of their bodies without the fear of their brute strength trying to get our goodies. And that's perfect to say to healthy, well-adjusted men. But as we know, there are a lot of unhealthy, maladjusted men, maladjusted people, traumatized people who aren't going to adhere to polite society. So, just for that alone, you need to put them titties away in your day to day interactions. You can say that men get to go topless in public. Yes, they can. But going shirtless, whether you're a man or a woman, isn't necessarily polite. That's why restaurants have that sign that says no shirt, no shoes, no service. So even the men, they don't want you bringing your little sweaty, hairy ass chest up around the food because it's impolite. If they're going shirtless, it's mostly because they're doing some kind of manual labor that we women aren't doing, or they're working out. And women, if we're working out, you're gonna want to wear a bra. And y'all been out there wearing them bra tops since the late 80s. Titties been out there. Now you want to show the nipples. You see what happened to Janet Jackson? And her career was put on ice because she wanted to pop that titty out being risque. Justin Timberlake, he ran for the hills. He's like, I didn't know the titty was going to pop out. You see how fast he ran away? Let me let me sidebar on this. It's like I like Justin Timberlake. I liked his music when he started making music with the producer Timbaland. I used to call them a pair of Tims. They were a good combination. Hits. And then the Super Bowl happened. Which Super Bowl was that? It was Super Bowl 38 halftime show. And they did their performance, and of course it was a planned stunt. That choreography looked perfect at the end where he ripped off the bra cup and you had the little pasty there. She covered the boob and then she looked down and the music stopped and the lights dropped down. The choreography was perfect. Of course it was planned. That was no accident. That was not an accident. But Janet took the fall. She warmed up. She took accountability. Justin Timberlake pretended that he didn't know what the hell was going on. He was a lost babe in the woods, and this black vixen planned this stunt unbeknownst to him. And he threw our black R&B princess. She is black royalty. She's from Jack's family. Janet Jackson is black royalty, and he threw her ass under the bus. Justin Timberlake started making movies, started doing country music, and he left that black woman behind. And I could never listen to his music quite the same ever again. I sure enough wasn't buying it. But I digress. No shirt, no shoes, no service. It's not polite to go around topless. Now, braless. I mean, if you like itty bitty titty committee and you got the right kind of like tank top that ain't really, because you know sometimes you can still be pointy even when you got them itty bitties. And men will look and salivate at them little pointy things, okay? They will still like it don't matter how big these boobs are, these men will sit there and look. Something about erect nipples through a shirt will make a man go,
I want a diamond ring, I want some bracelets and everything. Daddy.
look how they act when we're wearing the bras and all the clothes and all the things. They're still sitting there chasing. And you think you gonna walk around free boobing it just on a regular, like, oh, today's so nice and balmy. I think I'm gonna go topless, just wear my little skirt in my handbag. Absolutely not. It will be mayhem and foolishness. And there are predatory men out there that's just looking for somebody that's out there vulnerable, saying, well, I should be allowed to be free, so I'm gonna be, to snatch you up and do whatever and say that you asked for it. It's like, you know how men are. They keep telling you how they are, and you want to keep being like, well, don't be that way. Doesn't quite work like that. Grow up. You sound like me when I was 7 years old. I have this strong sense of fairness and justice. So at 7, like when I would hear things like, oh, women weren't allowed to fight in combat. That sounded ridiculous to me, and I would debate my Tio Eduardo about this. He would tell me how, like, how, one day I'll understand, and he would say, "Oh, he's like, you're just a little too rough, Sully. I gotta get some sandpaper and smooth out the edges." He would like smooth out my shoulders. Just gotta get some polish to you, just a little bit of polish. Now I understand why he said what he said. I don't want to be on the front lines of combat either. Somebody gotta survive and take care of these babies. There were a lot of things that I just found unfair when it came to men and women. And you can raise your sons, of course, raise your sons. I have sons, raise your sons to respect women, to respect all people. But just know that there are urges within men. Do not underestimate the power of testosterone. Ask any trans man, any former woman who has transitioned into manliness will tell you what that testosterone do to them. It heightens their sex drive a lot. And a lot of them start feeling episodes of rage. That's within the chemical soup of these men. And some of these men are predators or maladjusted in some kind of way, traumatized and need some healing. Yeah, put them titties away. For your own safety, put them titties away. I'm going to say some things that a lot of women going to get upset with. Breastfeeding mothers, put your titties away. Put your titties away. Now, I have breastfed, and it's easy. You don't have to just pop your titty out in front of everybody to breastfeed. You get a light cloth that you use. They're usually used for swaddling your baby or to wipe up the spit up when you're feeding them. And you throw it over your shoulder, that multi-purpose swaddle cloth. You just throw that over your baby's head and crossing your torso. That's the easiest way. And now people are making all kind of slings and contraptions where you can be more discreet while nursing your baby in public. Anybody telling you can't nurse. But why? Given this society, we are in a particular society. You're not out, you don't live in some hut out in the rainforest. You do not. You don't live in that culture, and you wouldn't want to. You're in this postmodern Western society. Cover up. Because you're just like, well, this is natural and nobody should sexualize it. Yes, nobody should. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Who cares? There are people watching you that aren't looking at this mother and child natural special moment. There are people looking at you like a fetish. There are people looking at you breastfeeding and not fantasizing about you, woman, you mother. They sitting there fantasizing about your baby. Calm down, Miss Millie. Put your titty away. Put it away. You're being ridiculous. I just saw some ridiculous video, I think it was happening in Brazil, of some barber who gives like infants haircuts, like edging up their hairlines and stuff like that. Leave these babies and their hair alone. Just let the children be. That was bad enough. Putting straight razors to delicate babies' skin. But this one woman was breastfeeding her baby while the dude's cutting her baby's hair. That's some fucking pornographic fetish shit. And I won't stand for it. I saw another woman, she's in a grocery store. And the baby's like in the part where you sit your babies in, and she just pop out her huge cow titty, her huge udder, and then the baby just like and latching on, and you have a video ready for it. This is a fetish. This is child abuse. And somebody got called the fuck out. I swear if I see another one of these videos, I'm going to report your motherfucking asses to CPS. Because enough is enough. Put your fucking titties away. Some of you women are breastfeeding way too long. Yes, I said it. To me, once your baby got teeth, Once they got a full set of teeth, it's time to give them food to chew on. They're able to do it. I'll give you a pass up to age 2. After age 2, the baby don't need that titty no more. That's you. Once the baby can articulate that they want the booby, it's time for them to get a bottle, a little sippy cup. That has nothing to do with the baby. That is all you, my lady. And you need to figure out what that's about. Maybe you should return to your partner to get them titties service. Just thought, find a willing adult. There are plenty that will do that for you. And we're not going to pretend that this is normal. Do you remember that cover of Time where the woman was in her power pose while her child's just sitting there suckling on her very large child? That child don't need that titty no more. Put it away.